Hello and welcome to the interview. I'm Kim Min-jung. KOOZA, the touring circus production by Cirque du Soleil, is in town for those of you looking for an exciting way to end the year 2018 or greet in the new year 2019. Today I'll be talking with members of this incredible performance, so do stay tuned. Cirque du Soleil, a world-renowned performance production company, has been producing global hit shows. KOOZA, the 15th show in the series, has so far been performed in 62 countries to a total of 8 million visitors. Fans have rushed to the box office with pre-booking reaching $10 million in Korea. Only 2 weeks in, over 40,000 people have been to see KOOZA.
되게 스릴 있었고 매 장면이 진짜 아찔아찔했습니다.
전혀 딴 세상에 좀 갔다 온 것처럼 되게 동심으로 돌아간 느낌이 들었고
배우들이랑 호흡하면서 막 이렇게 춤도 추면서 이렇게 흥을 느끼면서 스태프들이 준비하는 모습이 가장 인상 깊었어요.
Elaborate performances will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very last moment. Exotic live music adds to the magic of the show, which runs for 120 minutes. The interview meets the team behind this amazing show with Dean Harvey, KOOZA's artistic director who makes an art out of circus. Hailey Villoria, an acrobat who puts on the most mesmerizing show hanging on a rope, and Marie-Pierre Guibault, a singer who adds wonderful live music to the show. These are a team of artists who create a magical world of circus. The interview meets the Seoul Tour team of Cirque du Soleil KOOZA for a fascinating peek into the backstage. It's great to have you on our program. Welcome to the interview. I know you're super busy with the show going on in full swing. Please introduce yourself to our viewers first.
Hi, and welcome to KOOZA. My name is Dean Harvey, and I'm the artistic director for KOOZA.
Hailey?
My name's Hailey Villoria, and I'm the aerial straps artist in KOOZA.
My name is Marie-Pierre Guibault, and I'm one of the singers in KOOZA.
All right. Well, who wants to have the honor of telling our viewers what KOOZA is?
All right, KOOZA. KOOZA tells the story of our innocent character, and it's about his journey and the self-discoveries that he makes on this journey.
All right. Well, how has the reception been so far?
In Seoul, one word, amazing.
Amazing. That's a fabulous adjective.
No, it's absolutely fabulous. We are absolutely loving the audience here, as these guys can agree with, I'm sure,
Yes.
is that they
It's
are
been
receiving
amazing.
such an amazing response from our audience here. So it's amazing.
I want to know your stories. How did you get involved in the production? We'll start with you,
Start with
Dean.
me?
Yeah.
It actually came from a friend of mine who was an artistic director for Cirque du Soleil. And when he joined the company, he reached out to me and he thought that I would be a good fit for the company. I never thought about it at that particular point in time, but as he mentioned it, I was like, yeah, okay, sounds good. So I interviewed. It just so happened, a poster was there. I interviewed, and 6 weeks later, I joined this fabulous cast.
All right. What about your personality? Do you think your friend suggested that you might be a good fit?
I think, well, we have a huge history. I mean, we go back for 30 years, this friendship. So I think he was aware that I love to travel, for one. We have a working relationship as well, so he knew my style of management, and he knew that what he felt that I could bring to this role. And so through that and through encouragement from him, I
Here you
gave
are.
it a shot.
And the
here I
rest is
am.
history,
Yeah,
as
yes,
they
ma'am.
say.
Yeah.
And what about you, Marie-Pierre?
Yes, I have a similar story. Actually, a friend of mine was a technician flying for Allegria, and I was doing a show back home, and he told me that my voice could probably be, he felt like my voice could be a good fit for some shows of Cirque du Soleil, and I was like, I didn't even really know what Cirque was doing at the time, which is really weird for a Quebecer because it was from home, you know, that company. And it was in 2008, I believe. And so I went on the internet and I looked it up and I was like, oh, I had to work for that company. And so they had like a main audition in Montreal that year, and they didn't have any in 3 years. So it was just like a perfect timing.
Wow.
Went to the audition in 2009 and got a position for Alegria at the time in 2012. So it still took like 3 years or something.
Wow.
But just went through all the auditions, and I was in love with Alegria and with this show as well, with KOOZA.
And you, Haley, how did you first get involved in the production, Haley?
Well, actually, I saw KOOZA 10 years ago in San Francisco, and something about the show changed my life. And the next day I said, I want to be a circus performer, and I saw this character on stage and I said, I want to be her.
That specific person.
That specific person. 10 years later, here I am in my dream role in the show. I was in another production of Cirque du Soleil called Amaluna, and I performed there for 3 years. And then afterwards, I got the opportunity to come to KOOZA, and I had to jump on it because it's my dream. It's my dream role.
Now, Dean, you're the artistic director, and I heard you interview and audition the performers yourself. Now, what are you looking for in a KOOZA performer?
Well, the whole process, if I may, is that we have a casting department in Montreal, and they scour the earth looking for the level of talent that we need for our shows. So they are when I'm looking for if I'm looking for an act or a character or whatever I may be needing for our show, I'll reach out to our casting department. They will provide me with a list of presentations, which is videos of these artists, and then knowing that they've already done their work and they know what I may be needing, I just have an opportunity to review all of those videos, and for me, so I'm obviously looking for the artistic abilities, all the technical skills, but I have to go a little bit deeper because we're bringing somebody into this group, so we have to look at the personalities, we have to see, just to make sure we're making the right fit for our show and for our community here, and so that's the process that we go through.
Now, I know you just wrapped up your tour in China, I believe, and now you are here in Korea. How are you liking it so far?
Korea is incredible. The city of Seoul has so much life, and the audience, they're just so warm and appreciative, and we're very, very grateful and happy to be here.
What are some of the challenges in adapting to a new place for a performance for someone like you who's performing on stage?
So for a singer, it's basically the quality of air has quite a big impact on our performances. And so in China, it was a real big challenges in some cities. And when you have that much pollution and not a lot of humidity in the air, then for a singer, it's basically your worst nightmare. But it was really cool to just push through it and learn how to work and offer the same performance for the people than when you're in other conditions, and just make it work, whatever you can do. And for me, that was a very good life lesson, and it really changed me, I think, as a singer, it really pushed my limits. And I think Cirque du Soleil is about pushing your own limits. Either you're an acrobat or a musician or an artistic director.
Absolutely.
I think that it is also part of traveling and being in a new environment every time. So I think you kind of get used to just adapt and just, okay, this is what it is, and let's just make it work, and let's just be safe for me. And so we have masks, and we have lots of ways to just live in a good way and make it work. Yeah.
And I think this is a true testament to their professionalism, because we are always under such different conditions, no matter what.
Sure.
We perform in this amazing tent, but we don't have control of all the other elements. So these guys are constantly, whether it's cold weather or rainy weather, pollution, it is their professionalism that pushes it through so that they can go nightly and perform at their very best. And
Are
this
you
is what
ready
they do.
for the winter time? And in Korea, it can get pretty
I
chilly.
don't know yet. It's getting cold. Huh?
We handled Beijing
But we were in Beijing last year.
Okay.
And
Well,
I'm
that
from
should
Canada, so I think I'm ready.
be. I think you're ready.
I'm
You're
a
for
California
sure.
boy. I'm
Yeah.
not ready.
You'll have to do some getting used to. Now, tell us about your staff. I know you're traveling with a large group of people. How diverse and how big?
Wow. Okay. Well, my direct staff underneath the artistic is the 50 artists, and then I have my own team that work closely with me, the artistic team, and there's a team of 7. But within the whole tour, there's probably 120, 30 something people traveling with us right now, and the nationalities, I think we're around 20. So that brings all those cultures are coming together, and all the different languages that are coming together.
Sure.
It makes it quite a unique
Yes.
little village of community that we have here.
I'm sure. With the diversity comes with its own share of difficulties. I'm sure if you could share with us how you, I guess, overcome those conflicts.
Dean's right. I think with 20 different nationalities and 20 or more languages, I think it's more of a blessing that we get to experience so many different cultures within our small network. And we get to learn, we get to experience and adapt to other, traditions, other ways of working, ways of life. And
the food that comes in through our kitchen, right? Because they're amazing at being able to kind of reach out to all the different cultures as well and bring in a little
sure.
bit of their favorite foods as well, so we're getting to experience that.
They need to make everyone feel at home.
It's a small international society that you have
Truly
within
is.
your team.
It truly is.
Now, you travel a lot for your performances, I'm sure. What do you love most about it? What are the perks, if you will?
For me, my favorite part, I've been to 40 countries now
Wow.
in the 10 years that I've been working. And, it's a blessing, again, to be able to go and experience all these different cultures and things that you never thought you would be involved in, and meet people you never thought you'd meet, and, let that feed you and feed your look, your way of looking at life and the way that you make decisions. So for me, it's more about learning about the culture and people watching and just seeing and learning, and that feeds me.
Now, tell us about the artistic tent where you stay. It has lots of facilities, right? So tell us about that little space you have.
So right behind the big top is the artistic tent, and that's our home away from home. That's where we have our physio department, and we have 2 physiotherapists that look after us all the time. We have our dressing rooms, the boys and the girls. We have our full wardrobe department, which has every piece of costume, makeup you can possibly think of. It's a woman's paradise. But we also have some things that are a little unconventional, like ping pong tables.
Wow.
And volleyball nets, and a trampoline, and a gym.
A trampoline?
We have a trampoline. People use it to warm up.
I see,
trainings and warming
for
up.
practice.
It is an actual work tool, but it's also it's our workspace, it's our living space, and we do our best to respect that space and everyone's, routine within that space. But it's, again, its own little network back there that I wish the audience could just take a peek, because it's so unique, and a lot of people don't expect that back there.
Yeah, and we also have an area called our Tapis Rouge.
Okay.
And again, that's, to us, is a very sacred place. And it's where I get to have at least once a week, where I get to have a meeting with the team, so I can give them information or give notes from the shows.
Sure.
But I love that space because it's just the specialness of it being the Tapis Rouge. And then when we do have backstage guests, they get to participate and sit in that area. But I always make it a point of saying, this is very special. This is not just a little corner of our artistic tent. This is a sacred space for us. So.
And speaking of communicating with your staff, what are some of the areas of focus as far as your staff members are concerned in making sure the whole operation is run smoothly?
Yeah. Well, I think that the big thing is the communication. Okay, so that's what we're focused on, to make sure, because it is my responsibility and my team's responsibility is to make sure that we are delivering the best show possible every single night. So what we do is about 2.5 hours before each show, we will gather, my team will gather, and we will learn what that lineup will be, what the show will actually be, because quite honestly, every single night, the show is different.
Wow.
So we gather our information from our PMed department, from our coaching department, and from anything else if it's a technical thing that we're dealing with. So with that, we're able to build up what the show will be, and so then we also have to communicate that to the whole tour. So everybody is aware of what that show we will be presenting that night.
You travel a lot, obviously, for the performances. What are some of the things you love the most about traveling and performing?
Yes. First of all, I never thought that I would be traveling so much in my life. This is not something that I imagined at all. I'm from a very small town, maybe 1.5 hours away from Montreal in Canada. You can dream if you want to, but I never actually thought. I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna work for Cirque, and everyone was like, sure, yeah, that might happen, And I was like, yeah. And then it happens, and then you travel a lot. And at first, I was not with Cirque, but with another show, 19, the first time that I left for tour, and it was actually pretty hard the first time, because I was actually still young and I'm very close to my family. So the first year was something, but then it's like a drug. You really get addicted to it. And I'm a foodie. I love to try food in every little place in the planet that we are lucky enough to visit, because these are probably places that I would have never visit on my own. I've seen 40 countries as well, so I would never imagine I would go to Copenhagen or it's just amazing. And so the amazing things, the perks that goes with it, I think it's the baggage is the word in English, the baggage that you accumulate, and then the lessons. You learn how to be patient, like 100 times more than what I actually was before. You need to wait in the airports. Sometimes you're gonna miss your flight. You have you're super hungry, but then you only have a little snack of nuts to hold on for 7 hours. It's filled with challenges, but because we love our job so much, it doesn't feel like challenges as much. And for me, I'm just enjoying it more and more, and it actually scares me, because I'm like, am I gonna sing until I'm 70 in Cirque du Soleil and have
why not?
Why not, right? But
why not?
But it's really once you're in it, it's really a joy. So.
Speaking of traveling and enjoying new things, trying out new things, while you're in Korea, are there things you want to do? Is there a to-do list?
Yes. When you're traveling a lot, I think that there's phases where you want to see every single church in the city, and I've done that a lot in the past, and I found myself doing it a little less in the last few years. So there's museums I saw that I'm interested in. There's a palace I went to visit, and I will have to, sorry for the expression, I will have to kick my own butt and just take my only one day off a week we have and really try to take advantage of the short time, it's still a short time that we're gonna be here in Seoul.
In this city in particular, you have a lot of, and on the outskirts, you have a lot of palaces and temples. And for me, Mary Pierre is right about the rush and the go, go, go of our lifestyle. And I'm taking this opportunity while I'm in this part of Asia to go to those areas and have a moment of tranquility and calmness and quietness. That's what I feel. Even though Seoul is so alive and thriving, you also have these areas where they're very quiet and sacred, and I want to go spend some hours of my day off there to regenerate and get ready for the next week.
Sure.
And as well, I'd love to check out the Korean border. It's, as an American, it's very like taboo, and in America we're so isolated. I would really like to learn more about the relationship between your country and North Korea.
You mean the demilitarized zone?
Yes, the demilitarized area.
Right. So you should definitely check it out because only foreigners can go. So it's going to be an opportunity for you to learn a little bit about history as well, right?
Course.
So tell us a little bit more about KOOZA, and you said it was a journey.
Yeah, the storyline is a simple story. It is about the journey of the innocent. But on this journey, he discovers many things. I mean, besides the connections that he makes with amazing artists like Haley's character, which is a strap act, which is an unbelievable aerial flying all over the stage, which is just absolutely amazing to watch. Not only her skills of being an artist, but just her character along, that's part of it. But we also run through beautiful scenes like our contortion acts, which is 3 contortionists from Mongolia that do incredible things to in their contortions. And the great thing about them is that they do it, contortions are usually very slow. They're very fast contortionists. They move through all their movements really fast, so their skill level is amazing. And then we go to like our Wheel of Death and our high wire, our double high wire. So acts that are perceived to be very dangerous and thrill-seeking, and it really brings such an adrenaline rush for our audiences. But so we got some incredible different acts, and we explore them all.
Right. It sounds like it's a lot of fun. But other than fun and entertainment, does KOOZA have a message it wants to deliver?
Well, I think the overall message, if again, and just in its simple form, is that if you're brave enough, and if you are secure enough, and if you're curious enough in your journey, you will always, the rewards will be there for you. And you explore that journey and what comes from that. Sometimes it's as the innocent our character finds, it could be something very funny, it could be something very scary, it could be death, it could be life, it could be, rising up, it could be celebration, it could be all of these things. But the end of it is that it's all worth it in the end.
When the show starts and you see the innocent, first of all, he's kind of alone, and you can see that his life is a little, not colorless, but simple.
Simple, right.
And it's the same in life. Like, if you dare to open a box that you've never seen or you don't usually go there, then you can meet some very colorful people and interesting stories that, yes, are gonna scare you or make you a little bit sad, and then joy will come back again. And KOOZA is really this colorful world with like all of this action happening and all that magic that really, when he's out of the box or when he goes back to himself, he keeps a little bit of these colors with him forever, and I think that that's so true in life. And it's funny because it's really part of what we are doing, traveling the world.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely it. The people we're meeting, the food we're trying. For me, it makes you rich. And this is what my father always said. If you have $1 in your account and you have traveled and you saw the world, then you are rich, And this is, I don't know, good on you. And this is definitely memories that I'm accumulating
Sure,
for my old
sure,
days. And I'm gonna tell that to my grandchildren. They'll be like, really? You did that? You went there? Yes, yes, I did that, kid.
See,
Yeah.
sounds like I'm sitting with three very rich people with lots of experiences.
But the other part of this is for the audience is that I think that that's what makes KOOZA and the innocent character himself it's relatable. You can relate to this because we all are on our own journeys.
Sure.
Ours is traveling the world doing this show, but we all at different stages in our life are doing a journey. First day of school, changing jobs, changing careers, entering to retirement. That's what makes KOOZA play so well in any country we go to, is that it is instantly relatable. And it is just about the journey, and we're all on our own journeys.
It's on the tips of your hands. That's, it's reachable for anyone. It's just there. You just have to grab it and seize it.
You gotta be brave enough to
Sure.
take the first step.
Yeah.
Your performance is absolutely mesmerizing and captivating, I'm sure. How do you feel about doing what most people can only imagine doing? What goes through your mind as you're flying in the air?
Actually, during my number, for the most part, my mind is blank.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I think of keywords at certain moments that I need to remember something. Maybe it's a physical note like hold or squeeze.
I see.
But sometimes I come off stage and I don't remember what I've done.
Oh, wow.
I'll come off stage and I just try and think what I've just done, because for me, I put myself in a dream state to go out there and do what I do. I don't think about, I accept the danger and I acknowledge the danger and I know it's there, but I don't get hung up on it. You have to become someone else, and you have to transform.
I see.
To go out there and do what people dream of doing, because I'm putting myself in a dream state. I feel when you have dreams where you feel like you're flying, I get to feel that every day.
Sure, lucky you, right? Do you ever get jittery though?
No, I don't get nervous. I have the experience enough to collect my nerves and to, again, if I'm nervous, I'll manipulate that nervousness and turn it into excitement. And then I have to be careful not to get too excited, because I'm very outgoing and very energetic, so then I have to pull it back and contain it.
I see.
I'm not someone that gets nervous or scared.
Now, you're feminine yet very strong in your performance. What kind of message, if you will, do you want to deliver to your through your performance?
Well, my character in this box of colorful characters, I'm kind of the counterpart of the trickster. The trickster is, the magician of this world, and if you pay attention, you'll see that he's actually directing everyone in the world, except a few characters, and I'm one of those characters. My character is Gias Freedom. She is unchained. She is free. And it's feminine, it's beautiful, it's strong, it's every quality of a woman pronounced.
Wow. Wow.
And me as an artist, I remember how this character touched me and shook my existence. So for me, I want to inspire, whether it be women or men or children, I want some sort of strength to be discovered within themselves by watching me, whether it be, who knows, a little sister whose brother bullies her and she goes, oh, I'm going to stand up to him, or someone saying, yes, I can be a strong woman, or a man saying, wow, acknowledging the strength of a feminine figure. So
Strong message right there.
Each person will interpret their character differently, because that's what's special about KOOZA, is that it has the ability to touch you somewhere, very personal, and something great will come from within you when you leave the show. And for my character specifically, I just remember what it did for me, and it changed my life. So I want to change someone's life in the audience every night.
Wow. It's very interesting that the music is conducted live throughout the whole performance. I would have never guessed. Now, tell us about that performance of yours and the whole, what kind of role music plays in the whole.
We are there literally to serve the numbers, because every day is different, and what they do, it is really dangerous. In fact, like, they are trained since they are kids to do it, so we're not scared for them, but we have to make them comfortable to, if they need one more breath or one more before they jump or anything, we give this to them. So we will loop some sections. Our band leader is going to be the one who says, okay, we're looping this section, and he counts. And so we have to be listening a lot and being aware of what's going on stage. We can't just close our eyes and do our thing. We really have to, it's a teamwork. And for me, that's actually the part that I prefer doing, being part of this show, is being part of a team. And also help the audience to forget about whatever that's on their minds, that, okay, this thing didn't go so well this week, or, oh, I have pain on my arms, or I have, it's really, we don't feel pain the entire show, so I think they don't either. And it's really just this wave of love. And so as a band, it's really about the team, and you have to listen carefully about what's anyone doing or saying, or what the general stage manager is saying, or it's really like, you have to be there and you have to be ready to help. And for me, that's what it's all about. And it's really interesting to be different every day.
I see.
It keeps you.
And we have incredible music. And incredible musicians, and we have incredible singers who can actually do this. The skill sets that require, to what Mary Pierre is talking about, to be able to be in that moment and being able to support it. But our music and our band and our singers, I mean, they are the driving force behind this as well. It's not only a support, but it's also driving the artist as well.
Yes.
So it is a give and take, and because our music is so strong, and I mean, it leaves you with such a feeling that, I mean, obviously, if we didn't have this music and these musicians and singers, it would be a different show. So the fact that it all comes together and we all have to work in such a way, it's quite magical.
Yes,
how
and
it all comes together.
If I can add a little
of
thing.
course.
What we love particularly about Seoul is that we feel like we have so much power, in like magical powers for real. Like the trickster is real. Like that when we start the show,
in
like,
what sense?
and it's just like you feel like you're lifting your arm, and people are like, "Oh my God!" and you're like, "I did this." I think I'm responsible for people to be amazed, like this feeling of just, for me, being up there and like in the Bataclan and being looking at for an upstage view, kind of. You feel like it's gonna sound weird, but like Mother Nature of that show. You're just there. You're like not a mom, but you're like an observer, but at the same time you have your character. You do Indian music, pop music, world music. You really go everywhere, and I think that what you want to show to Cirque when you do auditions and stuff like that is to really show them that you can do many different styles, and that you want to do that. Not like one thing and then we hear it's Marie Pierre the whole time. No, we hear the singer of KOOZA, Cirque du Soleil. You know, you have to play a character as well.
It is definitely.
I
Yeah,
see.
definitely.
Dean's right. As an artist, the music is the driving force. And I always try and catch up with Mary Pierre or the band leader Carl, or Fritz, everyone in the band, and be like, oh, I loved what you did this night with just there was something a little extra.
little something
And I
that's
feel
happening.
that, and I feel that on stage, and I'm like, oh, that was special.
Yeah,
I'll go back and say, hey, I love that.
Wow.
You brought me to life there. They are our energy, our driving force, and the music of KOOZA is so special. I still cry listening to many of the songs, or singing along to them by myself, where no
While
one can
performing,
hear me.
while in the air. No.
Yes.
I'm just gonna continue on with this thought because I do love this thought because it is for us as well. If we did the exact same show every single night and it was so set and standard, I don't know how we would be able to travel the world as we do. The fact that every single night we are witnessing either it's slightly different or just one person is doing a different cue, or one person's doing or we've got changing an act, and or if that act is needing, as they were saying, another breath, another moment. And what we hear, if we're talking about the musicians, I love is like hearing Jean-Louis, our bass player, just add another little slide and just feeling that little pause. And I'm like, yes, it's all working together. I love that. And they are so good at it, and they all just know exactly how to do it. So the feeding between the artists that are on stage and our band and our musicians, it's magical. I mean, I just keep using that word, but that's how I feel every night.
Sure.
So,
I want to go back to what Mary Pierre was saying about the performing in Seoul and how it felt magical also. So I want to know the chemistry between the performers and the audience, maybe how that plays off in your performances and the whole show.
I really think that when you're in front of an audience, like here in Seoul, where people are just amazed and they want to be amazed and they're open to it, it just gives us the gas or the fuel that we have, the fuel that we need to go on and just give the best that we have. It's really, really fun for us to be able to get that from the audience and to just roll on it and just to give it back. It's really, we're really grateful for that.
yeah. And I think the other thing is, by design in our shows, we have artists, our clowns, who actually break the wall. They actually go into the audience.
Oh, wow.
So I think that also, the chemistry between the performers and the audience, we're kind of breaking down all those barriers, and we're out there doing it. Now, I get asked nightly from guests, it's like, are the people that we bring up onto the stage, are they a plant? Are they part of Cirque? And it's like, absolutely not. So that element of bringing an unsuspected volunteer up onto the stage.
Is language barrier an issue?
I don't think so, because again, the clowns, we can use their physical comedy as well. We do make some adjustments depending on what country we're in, and if things are not working, we do have to make adjustments.
Sure.
But we try to be so inclusive, especially when we come into a new country. We want to know like the local phrases. We will add that into the show.
Sure.
But I think just from the audience general perception, it's like when you go out into them and you're actually bringing them up into our world as well, it just makes another way of connecting, and the whole audience is either thinking two things, and this is what I have fun watching. thank God it's not me. I'm glad I'm not up there. Or I wish they would have chosen me. So you can feel that, and you get that sense of that energy from the audience. And I particularly love the ones that's like, oh God, thank God it's not me. You see people just like, oh. Whew.
I think I'll be right in between.
Right? It's like I want to, but no,
I don't
but I
want
want
to.
to, but no.
Are you surprised at all with where you are now, or with the
I would not use the word surprise. I would say that I'm very blessed, I'm very fortunate, and I'm very appreciative. I have a firm belief that the universe will provide for what we want, and if we're brave enough to go on this journey, then it will come to us. So the fact that I'm here, it's exactly where I wanted to be, so I'm not surprised.
Same for me. I've started singing. I was very, very young, and when I was 5 years old in kindergarten, I was singing with my mom, right? And nobody in my family is singing professionally or a professional musician, but I could somehow hear when somebody is singing on pitch or not, but I didn't know what it was. You know, you're a kid, so you don't know. And so we were singing songs. That's what you do in kindergarten. It was my favorite, my favorite year of all of my school years. And then this little boy beside me sings really badly, and so bad that as a child I thought that he was doing that on purpose. So I thought he was being mean, and so I had to I raised my hand and I was like, I think that he's not serious about it. And my teacher was like, well, you know, it's not important. We're doing this for fun. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, oh my God, it's so important that everything is harmonized and sounds good. So I'm not surprised that I'm doing this today. I'm not surprised I did not make so many friends that year either. Just kidding. But no, I'm not surprised. Although I was, as I told you before, I was really, really a shy kid, and I was fortunate enough to start really young, and then you kind of get used to it, and then one show brings you to another show, and here you are. So I feel blessed as well.
So you saw the performance 10 years ago and you went in to get an audition. What kind of audition was it? What did you have to show the judges what you've got?
Well, my story, I saw KOOZA 10 years ago. I think I was 15, and I had no athletic background before that. I was not an athlete, I was not a gymnast. So when I turned 18, I went to a circus school for 1 year.
Wow.
And right after that, I started working. And each year was a different contract. Sometimes it was longer than others. And I actually never thought that I would be good enough to be in Cirque du Soleil. I worked very hard. I performed and worked and trained during the day. I'm always trying to get better. And that's been throughout my career. But I was not a professional athlete. I just knew that I wanted to be the best I could be. And actually, I didn't have a Cirque profile. There was no audition for me. They found me on YouTube.
Wow.
They were scouting for something in Amaluna that they didn't have in the talent bank. I was not in the Cirque du Soleil talent bank. And they found me on YouTube and reached out to me and said, can you send us more material? We'd like to consider you for this role.
Wow.
And I did, and I got the job, and I was very surprised. I knew I was a hard worker, but I didn't think I was up to the caliber that they're scouting for. And coming to Cirque, I learned a lot more. They broke me, they trained me, and they gave me so much power to rise up and become such a better artist than I was before, or that I could have imagined that I could be. And they saw something, the directors at that time and the casting, they saw something in me that I didn't see. And so I'm very blessed and very lucky to be here, and lucky that someone saw a light within me that I didn't know existed and helped me grow and make that light bigger and brighter. I like to say that the stage, and this is a non-judgment zone. Like this, we don't judge anybody. This is not a competition. This is not an athletic, sport. This is an art form, and we each contribute our own, medium of art on stage, and so.
Sure.
There's an element of, job if you're applying for a job, or there's that level of competition, and but it's not about winning or losing. It's about what can you contribute? What's your art? What can you offer?
So there are no animals involved in the production. Tell us about the philosophy behind that.
And they've never been animals, and I think that's probably one of the from the origins of it. When Guy and his group of people they were just the performers, and they relied on their own skills and their own talent to be able to create this group of performing, and that evolution from that very beginning, it worked. So there was no need to go into like the traditional circus route, because they were kind of already reinvented it, and people were accepting it, and they just grew from that. And I think from the bigger philosophy of this is that Cirque du Soleil allows for everything to evolve, and they encourage that. So even from the very beginning, it has always been about the evolution of their shows and of the artists that they have, is so that they can evolve and grow and build what we have right now.
Sure. Cirque du Soleil has been accredited for reviving the dying circus industry in many parts of the world. Would you agree?
I would agree, but I would also say that it was, I don't think even by design that it was like in a competition. It was just set out from the very beginning to be something different.
When are you the happiest on stage?
I love performing my act. I get such a high from it, and I'll go backstage and I'm still jumping around and I'm very excited.
Wow.
It's an adrenaline rush. My act is a roller coaster, so it's sort of impossible to not get excited from it. But actually, my favorite part on stage is right before Wheel of Death, we have to do this like feather dance. We get to wear these amazing, gorgeous headdresses and big tails, and we get to dance to this like fun jazzy music, and I don't get to be on the ground very much because quite frankly I'm not very good on the ground, but in this number I feel like I can work it. So I love it. This is in KOOZA, this is my favorite part of my show is feathers.
And what about you?
It's funny because when you do the feathers, it's actually one of our little moments of the show where we see each other, and we just always do like some little like and stuff. And
Yeah,
so
I have a note about that, by the way.
Oh no, he's not supposed to know.
I know.
I see it all anyway.
But we're trying to have our little moments in that, and that really, that's why there's so much chemistry, between the artists, even though we're not in the same department, but we're still on stage together, and it's a place of no judgment. We say so no matter what you do, where you're from, we're always having fun all together. So, but my favorite time to be on stage, it's different for us because we're up there and sometimes the scrim is closed. So for me, I would say that it's the unison with the band. At the beginning, before the show even starts, we have like these handshakes with the bands that we do, and nobody kind of know about it, but we all like every single person of the band, we just like do this or like this. You know, we all look at each other, and then we get ready, and the show starts. The scrim is opening, and it's a very powerful moment.
It's a nice moment for
for
us.
the band, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
What would you say, as the artistic director, is the highlight of KOOZA?
Ooh, when Haley's doing the crooner.
Other than
Look,
us two,
you're,
right?
exactly. Look, it's like asking to pick your favorite child. It's so difficult to do. We have so many incredible talents, and they each bring something different. So for me, it's interesting being the artistic director. I am looking at different things, and there oftentimes I can find just the smallest of things, and that would be my highlight, and it would be something that maybe the general public will never know. But certainly there are thrills throughout the whole shows with like some of our acts, like the Wheel of Death artist and our High Wire and our Chair act, but they all are bringing about it so differently, and it's just a matter of where you are in the moment and how you're relating to it and what you're looking for, and so. It's all of it. It's all a highlight.
I see. And finally, if you have a message to our viewers who might be on the fence about whether to come and watch the performance.
Definitely come and see it. I mean, if you want to have a great time, and it's really a family show as well.
Absolutely. And just enjoy the whole experience that we bring, because it is about the immersive experience all the way around. So absolutely, come see us. We are loving Seoul, and we are loving the people, and the people are loving us, so come be a part of it.
All right. Haley?
KOOZA is one of the jewels of Cirque du Soleil, and for someone in the public who doesn't know if they'd be interested in circus, or maybe they've never even seen a circus, if you were ever going to come see a Cirque du Soleil production, this is the show to come to, because it is a gem, and it will touch you, and it will inspire you, and you will walk out of here a different person in one way or another.
Wow.
And I think, again, it's a great family show. It's a great date night show. It's really, it's suitable for everyone, and it's so special. And you'll walk away, again, a whole new person.
That's a strong selling point
It
right there.
is.
You walk out a whole new person.
Put all the money on that.
Well, sounds great. Thank you so much for your time today, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, well, KOOZA definitely sounds like an unforgettable way to close out the year 2018. It runs until December 30th right here in Seoul. Do check it out. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.